Hello, Sean Wright-Philips. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to speak to you. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good, thank you. I hope you're doing well, and it's a pleasure to speak to you as well.
Yes, the Euros are here. I mean, we've been looking forward to it for quite a while with everything that's gone on. We couldn't wait for the return of fans. I mean, while watching on the telly, how do you think the return of fans will affect the players and what will it do to them?
And I think for me, you can see the differences already in not just the performances, but the players' energy levels. Considering they've come off the back of like a hard 16 months where it's just been 2 seasons rolled together. And the standard in the Euros in general is, for me, has been outstanding, and that's a testament to the players and the coaches throughout the season, and the coaches that have got them in the Euros now. So at the minute, we're seeing a lot of goals, which is always enjoyable for spectators and the fans that have actually travelled to all these destinations to watch the game.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the destinations, for the first time, the Euros is being spread across Europe. For a former professional footballer such as yourself, do you think this is an advantage for the players or not? Because they have to be moving, for some of the teams, obviously not England.
I think it's definitely going to be an advantage for some of the teams. Like, it didn't work for Russia, but they had home advantage in the first game, and England had home advantage. So, of course, to have your fans backing you, there's always nothing better than that, especially if it's in some places a full house. It's perfect to come out and you hear the roars of your own supporters. It's going to give you that extra boost and what you need to hopefully get the points in the game.
You played for England, close to 40 appearances, and you scored a couple of goals as well. If you look at this talented English generation, there seems to be none of the "it's coming home" thing around them. Why is that?
I think it's the excitement. I think that the one thing I love about the England squad now is it's a very young squad, and they've all got time to grow together. And not only that, they play like the way they play at club level. I think for me, it's so exciting to watch. I'm looking forward to the next game already. And at a minute, it seems like it could be coming home. So if they keep up the hard work, to be honest with you, because they have the attacking potential. If they keep their clean sheets, we're always going to create chances and score goals. And sometimes it might be an ugly win, but that is football. We've watched France, wouldn't say it was an ugly win, but they battled through and they beat Germany 1-0. And if you can keep picking up results and stuff like that for England, we're in a perfect position.
England's next game is against Scotland, the very historical rivalry between the two. Have you ever played against Scotland when you played for England?
Not on the stage like this. It reminds me, I think it was when Paul Gascoigne scored, if I remember correctly. Yeah. That was my vivid memory as a kid growing up, and I'm really excited for the game, because for me, Scotland have to come out to try and either get a point or win. So it makes it a more exciting game, because England, of course, want to win the game. I can't see England going in it for a draw, but at the same time, they know a draw takes them through. So Scotland are going to have to go for it, really, I think.
Nice one. If you look at the entire Euros, it seems to have come to life. We've seen big players starting to exert themselves on the tournament, which is what you always want. Cristiano has two, Lukaku has two, and so on. Which brings me to that question. Everybody says the elite players are going to be tired, but you don't see it. What is keeping them going, Sean?
I think the things that are keeping them going is the desire and the hunger to be the best in the tournament. I think they don't want to let their country down or their teammates down, so that they find the energy within them, and the professionalism that they have to do that is phenomenal. Like I said, the season, like you said before, has been incredibly hard. It's been tough. Even me, myself, thought the standard wouldn't be that high in this Euros because of the same thing that everybody's saying. But it goes to show, like, once your heart's in it and you're mentally prepared and you physically take care of your body, you can go on to do things that people might not expect you to be able to do.
Outside England, who are your pre-tournament favorites?
I keep saying Belgium, because I just love their squad in general and the way they play. But the way France are, they're so stacked in every position. I feel like they could field 2 11s and would most probably combat a lot of people's teams going into it. So it'll be interesting to see. But for me, outside of England, if England don't win it, I would like Belgium to win it.
Belgium, yeah. I mean, they look properly tasty, aren't they? And also, you've got to look at the coaching styles already. It doesn't seem like there are a lot of negative teams, because some of the previews also thought that, the players will be tired and so the coaches will be employing very negative tactics. But you're not seeing that. You're seeing open and expansive football.
But that's something we always want to see, especially in tournaments. You don't want to see negative football. I think the more that it's expansive, the more you're going to see more goals or more chances created, and players that we want to see, like the bigger players, being able to express themselves, because there's more space that's created by the other teams trying to attack as well. So it's worked out perfectly for fans, coaches, that they can put their game on the pitch and play. Like I watched Roman Lukaku play the other day, and I thought he was quiet. But when you get a goal scorer in front of goal like that, he only needs 2 chances. Ronaldo, the same thing. Leading up to the game, he wasn't controlling the game as much as he wants, but you give them sort of players in that elite category chances, they will score goals. And the rest of the players play well, like Mertens play well. And then you watch England and your Foldens and Mounts, everybody played really well. So I love seeing attacking football. I was an attacker, so I really enjoyed watching attacking football. I've watched all the games and I'm watching Wales now.
Now, your family are somebody said, when I interviewed him before this, that England is like a social consciousness, a social organism, the English national team. It represents whatever it is that is culturally trending now. How proud are you, with your background as a Black player, that the team is in one voice in saying that this is what they want to do when it comes to taking the knee? It could have so easily been a divided front.
I think it's great that they're showing their way to fight against this vile thing that's going around, where people think it's okay to racially abuse people on the pitch. I think football's a universal sport. It's so cultured. There's so many different cultures playing it around the world. And for me, there is no place for racism on and off the pitch. I just think the people that do that are just ignorant, like that uneducated people. And most of them are haters because they're not doing anything for themselves in their life. So that's my point of view on it. But the way England now are dealing with taking the knee is delightful, and I respect it so much. And I just hope people just see what the people in the sport are trying to do, that we all stand together.
Excellent point. I mean, and Gareth Southgate has led them brilliantly as well. But just before we finish, Sean, tactically, what do you expect to see open in this tournament? What kind of UEFA technical report do you expect to see at the end of the tournament as it progresses?
Well, obviously, I'm going to say England. I have to say England.
In terms of technical, when I say technical report, I mean, certain tournaments are known for counter-attacking football and whatnot. What do you expect to see as the pattern? Because usually, I
don't think there is going to be one. That's my point. I think, there's so many, technically clever managers in this tournament that I feel like they can change it. They, especially in the teams with the most depth and all the elite players, they can change their style of play in so many different ways. And sometimes it can happen mid-game. They could be counter-attacking and then they go possessive and just spring attacks from possession. But you could highlight it back to, say, like the way, say, a Man City play right now. They'll just probe and they'll tease you. Like France can do that. They probe and they just keep picking until these little gaps open. And England play more of, like you said, a spring where they can soak up pressure and then they have the attackers to just go boom and go. So I think there's not going to be one certain trend throughout the tournament. I think there's going to be vast and various different ways that it will pan out. Lovely.
Who is the most exciting young English talent in this squad for you? You can name 2 or 3.
I got, for me, Foden, Grealish and Mount. I think just the way they've played this season, And not so much Grealish because he was injured towards the back end of the season, but I think Mount pretty much, in a way, carried Chelsea's attacking front line for what? Best part of half the season, I think. After Tuchel found him in the team and like let him back in after him being dropped when he came in, I thought he's been tremendous. And I think Foden, what can you say about this kid? No matter what hurdles you put in front of him, he seems to jump over them and do one better. And they just keep improving. So I think if you get players like that, and obviously Sterling's come back in, which was a surprise to everybody, and he's played well and scored a goal. If you can get your front players playing like that, it's definitely coming home for England.
What's your fondest English national team memory, Sean?
I think for me, it would have to be my debut, I think, against Ukraine in Newcastle. It's always a dream as a kid, especially growing up, wanting to play for your country, or be involved in a squad to have the chance to be selected. But obviously I got selected and I was on the bench and I didn't think I was going to come on. And then I come on my debut and managed to score a goal. I think just to have that, it all just felt like it just went how it was meant to be that day. So that is one of my biggest memories for England.
Okay, all right. So I have to let you go now, but there's a question I've always wanted to ask you. In the Champions League final, when you saw Chelsea play Manchester City, which kind of blue was your heart?
Look, everyone's been asking me this a lot. I am a City fan. It's 9 years, 10 years of my life there as a kid. They made me the person I am today. But I love Chelsea. I love the fans, and I've got massive respect for the clubs. They always supported me, and they always showed me mad love. So on that day, for me, the team that won was the better team, especially in attacking areas.
Great. Your final message for the England national team, if we were to play it for them before they come out of the tunnel in their next game.
Guys, I've been waking up so early over here to make sure I watch all the England games. I'm supporting you from afar, and I'm wearing that heart on my sleeves just like you guys. Go out and do what we've seen you do all year. Good luck.
Sean Wright-Philips, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.